Hello everyone. Today I have another Rush Duel Links video for you. I have reached King of Games with the Bubble Era deck this season. Last season I had posted my Voltcondor deck list, and today I want to go over this Bubble Era list that I have for you all. In terms of why I chose this deck, it's literally because I have almost every single deck in the format right now. I think I'm only missing Seven's Road Magician and a Yami Ruler, and then I have a playset of everything. And so I was just going with random decks this season. Whenever I would lose with a deck, I would just randomly switch off of it and pick a random one to play with. And funny enough, this was the deck that actually it went undefeated up until Gold 5. And then I was like on my King of Games rank up match, and then I just lost because of a misclick. There was three different monsters. I attacked in the wrong order, so one of my monsters couldn't beat over a monster. That lost me the game. It was very hilarious. Then I just played random decks until I finally got back to this deck, and then it went undefeated. So I think this deck is pretty strong. This is a deck list borrowed. Let me grab the user's name. It was a user by the name of Dice in the top four of the tournament Quantum Rush. So it's borrowed from this. I made some of my own tweaks to it. I'll leave his or their deck list in the description. But I made some own changes for my own personal reasons. So they were playing the card Fire Golem, and in place of that, I decided to go with Seahorse Server. The reason why I assume they're playing Fire Golem is to get over the Yami Ruler lock. This deck doesn't really have a way to get over that. Even if the Yami Ruler doesn't go for its effect and it's just in defense position, there's not really much you can do. The intent is you lower it by 600 and then summon Skull gets over it. Or if the Yami Ruler just goes to defense position later on in the duel and doesn't use its effect, or after it's used its effect, right, and you faded the turn, the Fire Golem is allowing you to get over that. That situation never came up, even in the duels where I was going against Yami Ruler, so I decided to instead go with the Seahorse Server. This is because the 500 life points does come up, and it comes up every single matchup, regardless of like that niche scenario where like your stars need to align. I'm just going to accept the defeat against the Yami Ruler. Like it was a matchup that wasn't even that common in the ladder. I think I faced that specific deck maybe once, twice in the entire like 3 days that I've been playing for this King of Games, between all of my decks really. The most person that used Yami Ruler the most in all of my games was myself. I played that deck, and every time I played that deck, I just wasn't impressed by it. I mean, I only had one or two Yami Ruler to work with, but even still, regardless, the Seahorse Server, the switch to this is very, very essential in my opinion. It allows you to play more aggressively with the deck, and thus I had cut Dian Keto for a second Shining Superstar. This allowed with Prima Guitarna, you can pay 1,000 life points, boost all of your boys up, every person in the deck up, and that is absolutely tremendous. With Dragius, you can go for some absolutely lethal and disgusting plays. And they were on a copy of Phantom Bind. I don't like that card. That card is absolutely it's a trap, I feel, in this metagame, because there's only two decks that I feel that it would ever come up in. One is against this deck, funny enough. It's pretty sad. I guess there's three decks, right? It's going to come up against this deck because Dian Keto, you're going to have a lot of Aqua monsters in your graveyard, so it can come up. It can make Dian Keto, not be able to punch over things, which I guess is part of the reason why I swapped one of the Dian Ketos for Prima Guitarna. But the Dragius and the Prima Guitarna don't really care about it. It's going to come up against the Yami Ruler deck, because that deck is basically all Warriors. And the third deck that it comes up against is Dragonic Slayer deck, which is ironic because the Dragonic Slayer, you would think the card is going to be doing good against it because the deck is entirely dragons, but what ends up happening is the Slayer is going to pop the Phantom Bind, and thus it's not really that usable. So the card's just not that good in this metagame. Every other deck in the game has ways to get over it due to the amount of skills that boost attack. I'm personally not that big of a fan of how many skills boost attack. It kind of invalidates the trap Phantom Bind. But regardless, I decided to cut it for Pierce because seeing this in your opener, especially if you're going second, can be very, very strong. If you find Dragius, it's a card that if it gets popped by Dragon Slayer, it's not really that big a deal because if you set it, it's just like your opponent's probably going to go on the aggressive anyway. So it's a card that if it comes up, awesome. If it doesn't, well, it's just discard fodder for your Thunder to the Thunders, for your Gravity Press Dragon, and for your Dian Keto. So we're going to go into some replays here right now. And yeah, so I had a lot of fun with this deck list. I got to play many different decks. I played Life Point Gain Psychics. I played Beatdown. I played two versions of Beatdown. I played like a starter draw Beatdown. I played a tribute boost Beatdown. I played Climax Beat Psychics. I played even Voltcondor for a little bit, but this was the deck that was able to run the distance. So we're gonna go against, I believe this is an Axel Road deck. I could be wrong though. This is just a Yuga player. So they're going to start off a turn. They're just gonna double set here. So that's a pretty unfortunate start from them. I have a lot of gas here, but unfortunately I'm going to be left in a position where I'm going to have one tribute monster in the hand. I decided to just go for the Dragius here, just get that 3,900 damage, and they decide to chip a little bit off of that from the Phantom Bind. They're going to go for the Mystic Dealer there, pitch that Dark Magician. So yeah, this is actually a using Dark Magician with the Dark Magician Girl strategy here, and they go for a pretty greedy Recovery Force. I'm not too big of a fan of this Recovery Force because, like, most of the time, right, like, you're only going to go for this Recovery Force, in my opinion, if you're having a level 5 or higher monster in your hand, but they don't, I believe, right? They just attack. Yeah, they just attack, so this is a card, Recovery Force is used best on your follow-up turns, so you can have technically 6 cards in your hand on your next turn. It's an investment card. If you're using it there's not really a point to be using it. You're just kind of blanking on your draw. I would have preferred to save that card there. But they're just going to go for some big damage, but that's alright. We have the Seahorse Carrier here, which is going to allow us to get 2 Tribute Summons over here. We're going to get 2 Prima Guitarnas on the board. Seahorse Carrier is such a phenomenal card. It reminds me a lot of the Voltcondor deck, where you add back the Luminous Parrot, and then you can be able to use that to extend. And that's just going to be the duel because we had all that momentum with the double Prima Guitarna. I really like the double Prima Guitarna. Allows you to get a lot of damage and exposes the offensive decks. Even with like the Pierce and stuff, you can pump out a lot of damage. So for the second, for this, I'm just going to be doing the 5 ranked games, just like in the previous episode. It's just that this time I'm going to have some commentary over it. So we're going to go against another Yuga deck. I believe this was Beatdown for whatever reason. They're on 31 cards. I don't know why they're on 31 cards, but we're going to unfortunately brick on the double tribute monsters, but that's okay. I mean, if you're going to brick on double tributes, having a Dragius for the follow-up turn is pretty good, because if this goes unresolved, we're just going to punch in a lot of damage. Unfortunately, we draw the double Keto here, but that's completely fine. We're just going to punch in with a tremendous amount of damage, 39 out of nowhere. Dragius is that card where I still don't believe that this card should be in the format, or at least in 3. It should have just been at a limited 1 card. This card is absolutely insane. It kind of invalidates a lot of games. But over here, we're going to get the 7s XL coming out. Both of the 7s Road spellcasters are out and about, and they're only chipping away not too much damage. But we're going to break their board here, I believe, or at least a little part of it. We're going to get the heal back on the Dian Keto, and this is why I like Dian Keto, because it just gives you a little bit more of a reassurance. She's definitely the weakest card in the deck, but just being able to get a little bit of healing leaves you at a comfortable position. I'm never too scared of my life points. So we do not have the double Aqua monsters for the triple Talents, triple Threat Thunder. I always think this is 3k Bolt because I played it in the OCG times. But we do have the Summon Skull and the Gravity Press, just to be able to punch in their board. We're not able to clear it due to the monsters, and they're going to lower our board a little bit with the 7s Road Magician and the Thunder to the Thunders. But I mean, I'm not too pressed here. This is they were in a catch-22 situation here because of the Thunders. Like, I would honestly just like set the Thunders and just kind of like pray I don't have an out to the Sevens Road Magician, because like any type of damage, like it's pretty much guaranteed that I'm going to have lethal here. It was a bad position to be in regardless. So yeah, we're just going to boost up, just to boost up, and we're going to win with the Prima Katana here. As you can see, just even with 2 monsters, 18 and 2000 on the 2 Aqua Girls are pretty good for like a follow-up situation. So we're going to go into our 3rd match here, and this is against the Bubble Mirror, I believe. No, this is the Beetle deck. I definitely fought a Beetle deck. Let me tell you, I fought a Beetle deck. I just don't remember which character it was. 32 cards again here. Not really a lot of optimal plays, I feel, on the ladder. I mean, maybe there is a reason to be playing 32, but I have yet to see a reason to. So we're just going to go into our Gravity Press to pitch our dead Dian Keto, and we're going to go for the big Pierce into Dragius combo here. This is just an insane amount of damage. I'm pretty much setting myself up to win here. Just 18 off the gate. Forest, yes, this is definitely the Beetle deck. There's a bunch of level 1 monsters. I had a thought to play this deck a little bit, but unfortunately, this is a deck that I really wanted to experiment with before I've kind of read all the skills, but the 200 boost from Forest is pretty marginal. There's no reason to play this deck. The theory is you use the Beetle and the Gazelle, and they get boosted up, but when you can do that with like Dragonic Resonance and just boost those monsters up regardless of the Forest, like there's not really a reason to play this card, unfortunately. A lot of the skills in this game kind of invalidate deck building choices, in my opinion. There's a lot too much boosting in the skills, in my opinion. But regardless, the Seahorse server is going to get us the heal here, and we're going to have the double Dragius, which is just checkmate. If you're ever in a position where the opponent has double Dragius, like you just give up. There's nothing you can really do about that. So yeah, we're going to beat this beatdown deck pretty easily. They didn't even get to see the bee or the beetle. And then we're going to, I believe this is against 7 Axel, I believe. Yes, so this game was very, very funny. And we're gonna get to it, don't worry. I was laughing my way to the bank with this one. So we do not open the best here. Well, with that 3rd card, I guess, with the 5th, being able to find just a triple set. But we do have some investment. We have the Pierce, but Pierce is not too good when you're opening. And then the Triple Threat Thunder could be good if we find some Aqua monsters. So they're just going to cycle their hand with the Mystic Dealer. They're going to find the 7 Axel Road here, and they're just going to boost up just in case I have like a 1400 defense monster with a Phantom Bind. So I'm going to go for the Seahorse Carrier, add back the monster here, and Seahorse Carrier is such a phenomenal card. It's giving me so much resources that I can work with. Server, I'm just going to, on my way out, this is why I like Server, because you're never going to keep it on the board. It's just to give you a little bit of healing on your way out before you tribute. But you're going to go for the Triple Threat Thunder here, and just to lower the Axel Wonder Splat, and this is a lot of damage on board. We got the Thunders to clear this monster, we got the Cannon to clear this monster, or I guess the Dragius can clear both monsters if you want to play around Phantom Bind, right? So we're poised for a heck of a lot of damage, but I forget to activate Dragius here. And the reason for that is I was actually having some breakfast, and I was just too busy munching on my bagel that I forgot to click the button. And let me tell you, it comes up, folks. This damage absolutely comes up. So it's their follow-up turn. They're going to go for the Wonder Axel, switch off for the 7's Magician, and boost up their Witch to 24. And then 7's Road Magician is going to come onto the board, and they're going to boost up. And they have the... this is another greedy recovery force here. And I'm going to tell you now, folks, they actually don't get punished for this, and I was very mad they didn't get punished for this. Like, I really don't approve of these recovery force plays, because what if that was a level 4 monster? You would have just, like, given up for like your thing. You could have used that for a follow-up turn, right? There's no reason to use Recovery Force in this situation. Luckily for them, they didn't get punished by this, so it's not too big of a deal. They're able to get like a little bit more. Like they're able to get 300 more damage this way. Wow, right? Like so amazing. But yeah, so just don't go for Recovery Forces in those situations. You want to save it for a follow-up turn so you can be able to find as much damage as possible on your next turn. Recovery Force is meant to be an extra monster that you can find when you don't have enough resources to utilize. So I'm gonna Thunder the Thunder here, just lower the monster a little bit, normal summon the cannon, special summon the Summon Skull, and I do 500 damage here. I wonder if there would have been a monster last turn that could have dealt 2500 had it attacked twice. So yeah, it came up here, but it's no big deal. I was definitely laughing when this happened, but I'm shaking it off. I'm having a good time. I don't really uh, want to win too much because I like playing on the ladder. But it's okay. If we get the win here, we get the win. If not, it's a funny moment. We're gonna just Dian Keto here, just heal up, just get that 1000 boost in case it comes up, and we're gonna double tribute go into the Dragius. Dragius is gonna mill here, and we're going to get the double attack and 900 damage plus 400 damage. On their turn, they're going to go into the Witch, but unfortunately, their skill does not let them boost over the Dragius, which is quite fortunate. There's a lot of skills that just let you get over 2500 for free. I mean, if of all monsters, I feel like Dragius is the monster that deserves to be punished by skills like that, because that card just doesn't need to be as prevalent. But the Seventh Road Witch is one of the few monsters that actually cannot get over Dragius after a skill. And then we have our final rank up game here. We're going against Dragonic Resonance. This is by far the most popular deck on the ladder. Don't let my 5 King of Game matches fool you. This deck was absolutely everywhere. I'm surprised that of my 5 I didn't see more of this because I felt like every other game was this matchup. In fact, there was this matchup twice in a row, 3 times in a row. This is by far the most popular deck in the format, and this deck kind of does a really good job against it because their big play is the Dragonic Encounter, the spell card that nukes things, and the healing from this deck is very much appreciated. Bogey Master being a 2500 monster means that even if they do use this skill, they're going to only deal a little bit, and the healing kind of racks up. I really enjoy this matchup. This is a matchup that I think this deck does really well against. We're going to go into the Dian Keto here, and a lot of people wouldn't do this, but I'm just going to pitch the Dragius here. I would rather get the 1000 life point heal, just to make sure I just don't... because what the Dragonic Resonance deck wants to do against you is they want to go for a big push on their turn, deal you just enough damage, and then on their next turn, they're going to activate the Dragonic Resonance with the Set-Upper, Upsetter combo. What's their English name? Slugger Pitcher. The Slugger Pitcher combo, and then deal you an absurd amount of damage on the next turn and find lethal over the course of the 2 turns. Right? They play a fair turn 2 and then an unfair turn 4 to win. So I'm going to try to hedge my bets here and just try to heal on this turn and probably, hopefully, they deal enough damage where I can heal with the Boogie Master skill again, and kind of prevent myself from losing to that combo. I'm trying to insulate myself there. But they're going to go for the Bunker Strike. Bunker Strike is going to fix their hand. They find a set card that's most definitely going to be the spell card, right? Like that. This is what they're trying to do. But the Dian Keto plus the heal allows me to just kind of play around that play. We're going to normal summon the cannon. We're going to get a little bit of healing with the server. Prima Guitarna is going to come out, and the Summon Skull is also going to come out, and we're just going to deal some damage here. So for them to out this board efficiently, they're going to need either the Fire Guardian or the spell card here, and they do find that they're going to deal some damage. Fortunately, though, they didn't have the Slugger Upsetter combo in their graveyard from the previous turn, or even any monsters here at all. So they're not going to get as much value from the spell as possible. They're only going to be dealing 2100, and I healed 15 over the course of this duel. So, they've only dealt about, like, not that much to me because of this. So I'm going to just get the little heal with the server here, and as you can see, the server really adds up. Like I'm healing all the time. I'm always in a good position, and I have so many bomb threat monsters. I have triple Dragius, I have Prima Guitarna. I'm gonna find like the triple threat Thunder over the course of the duels, right? So that's what this deck is designed to do. It's you're supposed to have your longevity, and then see, look, like if it wasn't for the healing over the course of the duel, I would have lost here. So this you don't underestimate healing. You know those monsters weren't going to do anything on their way out, so might as well get some healing. But we're just going to punch in with the Dragius there, and that is going to be the game. So folks, this was my King of Games run this season. If you like the content, thank you. Thank you for liking the content. No need to do anything. Have a good day and take care.